Yo, JD here, Tyrolemus, and we are here for round 8 of WOR at Germany Hockenheim, which the last race I did, the last video I did was in IOR around here, which was a disappointing race for me, and I was really not happy with that result, mainly because of just my pace, just real lack of pace. So this race was done the Monday afterwards, and I was really determined to put it right, try and deliver what I felt I could do.
That's better.
Made some tweaks in my setup, which I felt worked very well for this race. Because last time I think my car was just way too understeery, and it's always good to just try and learn from what you did in previous races and try and better yourself. And I think I definitely did that for this race here. And similar to Iowa, where I'm fighting for that championship, in this one here, I'm actually very close to the championship lead into this race because I've won one race around here. One race this league or this championship so far at Spain, I believe I won. So I've had one win out of 6. Oh, actually, no, this is round 8, I think. In fact, I think it's round 8. Yeah, I believe so. It is round 8. So, yeah, one win there. A couple of second places as well. So I didn't realise how close I was to this championship fight. And as I said, learning my mistakes mainly through the setup and what I did in the previous league race I had around here. The setup here is a lot more pointy now and much more suited to what I felt. So I felt a lot more comfortable. Had a full 50% race experience under my belt as well, which always helps. And this time, didn't underfuel the car this time. Put plenty of fuel in. And this lap is actually going quite quick so far. The medium lap I did was very quick lap. And this lap was my first lap on the soft tyre. Usually try and get 2 laps in. Coming off the last corner, it's looking to be a very good lap. Come across the line. It's 11.0, but we don't get a chance to do another lap. And that was a little bit surprising, in fact. I thought I timed it almost perfectly to get another lap, which wasn't the case because normally you do go quicker on the second lap by a tenth or even 2 tenths sometimes. So I was really aiming for a high 10. But we end up coming P3, basically a joint pole position with 11.0 for the top 3. So, yeah, confirming that we definitely have some good speed around here, raw speed. And in the practice I did, the raw speed was a good couple or 3 tenths faster than I did in IOR, which again, just adding to that disappointment. But I was super determined to just try and really just prove to myself of what I really could have done in that race, which is a very similar field here. So we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and trying to get a good start of CRG Pinecone, who's coming into the championship leader next to me. Leopard's had a bit of a nightmare in this qualifying. He gets a really good start and actually gets ahead of me, even though we have a very short run. And now we have VSR Infamous trying to go down my inside, so we've got to leave him some room on the inside of the apex. So we lost 1 position. And yeah, he got an insane start. I didn't think I got a particularly bad start, but he just got a super launch.
Too much wheel spin there.
Off the thing, and yeah, maybe I did have a little bit too much wheel spin, but I felt very comfortable at this stage. Knew I just had to settle into my rhythm. Sazzy and VSR Syra are coming or smashing together, going into the hairpin there. But yeah, as I said, I was very confident that I had a good 2 or 3 tenths more than what I had on the Friday race before, so I knew I should be able to stick with these guys pretty comfortably and really just try and look after my tyres and just really just take my time. And if I take my time and not get any warnings or penalties, which, you know, is a really big factor, especially in leagues now where everyone is almost hitting their max potential, if you get a penalty, you're probably going to be dropping quite a few positions because most people don't really get penalties anymore. You can't really rely on that. Although it's frustrating when you really want someone in front of you to have one, you really can't rely on it now. So we're slotted into 4th place into this race, and then just skipping on to the next lap now. And you can see he's staying with leaders pretty nicely. As I said, Leopard, I think he had a bit of damage on the first lap. Snazzy even set the fastest lap. And yeah, well within the DRS zone. And we've got a very good run on Pinecone. You may notice from the setup, compared to if you watch my previous video, it's just so much more pointy, this setup, and it's even quicker in a straight line as well. So I was having difficulty in the straight line and turn in. Changed that with this set by simply just lowering the rear wing. That's literally all I did. Do a little bit of a dummy, and now we've gone down the inside CRG Pinecone, so do a little fake pop to the left, He thought I was going to go on the racing line, but decided to cut across, got it down the inside. But now he's going side by side with me, going to this right-hander. But we luckily should have the inside for this. He's trying to fight on the outside, but decides not to go fully committed, which is thankful for me. As the two leaders are now going side by side as well, almost. So now we regained the position, what we did in qualifying, back into third place. And now you've actually caught up to the lead group as well. And at this stage, I was feeling very, very comfortable in my seven tires. You can see Snazzy even, VS Osira almost losing the car. And we actually got a little bit of a gap behind to Pinecone now. So no threat from behind, really. And we just got focused on these two leaders who were going side by side. And at this stage, it was a little bit frustrating because I didn't really want this. I just felt I had so much more pace than both the guys ahead of me. I just didn't want to get any damage or anything. I was just really hoping that maybe they'd push each other off wide. I could go into the lead, and I felt pretty good that I could possibly even drive away. But slipstream around this track is very, very difficult to get away from. So I knew I just had to be patient, and at this stage literally just keeping it within the white lines and just really not doing anything stupid and just try and protect my tyres. You can see getting a very nice exit of this. I really, really enjoyed this corner, and again, as the longer the race went on, the better I felt. The car was just coming to me a lot more, and now we should have quite a nice run on Sunday Eve. You can see we've got very good straight line speed as well, and that actually forces him to go in deep and actually hit VSR Syra, and we've actually slotted into second place. So just coming up on him very, very quickly actually forced him to go in deep, almost take out VSR Syra, and now we've got a super run on the Toro Rosso going to the left-hander. And again, just being smart, just don't really need to do it, but you can see my tyres are starting to finally start going well on lap 12 of this race. And again, just got to really just pick my moment, and I just felt now it was a matter of time. Managed to just slowly go up through the field once again, and just confirming what I felt I had within me was just the raw ultimate pace that I was just really lacking on the league race before, as Syra now goes into the pits, and he did that in Iowa on Friday as well. And it's very surprising that it goes in early, because the mediums are very hard to heat up. And this time I'm going to go in the lap afterwards. On Friday I went in 2 laps after him, so this time I'm only going to allow him to do a 1 lap. Really, he should not really undercut me, because the tyres are so cold. And in the race I did on Friday, I actually overcutted people by going longer, which is really what you should be doing on this tyre. And the in-lap was pretty good. You can see not real pressure from behind. Felt pretty comfortable. This time I haven't got held in the pits at all. And let's see where he's going to come out. And let's see here. He's got an enormous undercut. And that actually baffles me. I don't understand how he has done that at all. And I'm not saying there was, but there was a glitch in F1 2012. If you press pause coming out the pits, it would instantly heat your tyres. And maybe I have to try that, or unless he's just god tier on the medium tyre, I don't know. But he had so much of an undercut, and I don't understand how he's actually done that. But that's something I'm going to actually test myself, because the mediums, they take a long time to heat up as well. So fair play to him. I'm pretty sure, even if that was evident, he wouldn't do something like that, and I'm pretty sure there isn't a glitch to do something like that, because I think it would be widely known. But yeah, he just had an insane outlap as we're coming under attack from CRG Pinecone, who pitted a lap before me as well, and we came out a good distance to him. And it's just because our tyres are so cold. And Syra, he's gained 2.5 seconds on that undercut. It's pretty mind-boggling how he's actually done that. I don't understand how he's done that, but yeah, he's probably the best pad driver at the moment on this game. So fair play to him, and maybe he's just practiced doing that, or the outlap or something like that, which is very important, because if you don't practice that, you could be losing a seconds on the outlap. But now we're coming under attack from CRG Pinecone. And at this stage, I knew it was pretty inevitable that he's probably going to get past me. He's going to be very close. I haven't got DRS in the car in front. And I decided really to just turn it down, not really fight it too hard. Don't want to lose time to Syra ahead of me, so I decided to turn it down. And we're really not going to fight. Staying nice and super wide. Don't want to get any damage. And now we're just going to slot in behind him with Top Tom, who I'm not sure he's pitted yet. And yeah, as I said there, just really taking my time and try and use him to hopefully cruise up to the back of the Toro Rosso VSR Sara out in the lead at this point in the race, or the net lead of this race. But moving on to lap 24 now, it really didn't too much happen. We start to close in on the Toro Rosso. Didn't get a single warning, I think, this race so far. So I'm in a very, very good position here. And I think this is the time where I'm going to be checking if there's any penalties. And now my setup is really starting to come back towards the end of the stints, where it's super, super strong.
Can someone tell me if Sara's got a penalty in chat?
And yeah, just the benefit of live streaming, I get to ask my people who are watching me if anyone's got a penalty in front of me, because I was pretty confident someone would have a penalty in front of me, because it's a very, very hard track not to get a penalty from. So we're skipping on towards the middle of lap 26, and at this point I won't spoil it at all, but at this point I was just fighting to just assume that the guys ahead of me had a penalty, and we were starting to close in on the back of VSR Sara. And I was going to say I wasn't going to spoil it, but I can confirm, you probably watched the stream, VSR Sara did have a penalty at this point. So all I needed to do was just to stay with Pinecone, who I think he had a penalty himself. And you can see towards the end of the stint now, we're starting to get closer and closer to him, and we were within the 3-second window of VSR Sara. So I knew at the moment we'd be winning this race, and that would be huge, and that would really bring me back straight into the championship fight, which you'll see at the end of the highlights in the graphic here of how close it actually really is. But I knew that would bring me right back in the championship fight, which I really wasn't expecting at all. But you can see now we're starting to mount some serious pressure onto the back of CRG Pinecone. And at this stage, I could see the gap was actually extending a little bit between myself and Pinecone, because the more pressure I put on him, the larger the gap got between him and VSR Sara. So I knew I was actually probably going to have to make an overtake here, because I didn't want to run the risk of being outside that 3 seconds, which I'd have to say right now probably looks like we're out the 3-second window. So I knew this is where I'm going to start having to push. Got plenty of fuel left to manage that very nicely, and plenty of ERS left as well. And this corner is probably my best corner on the track. Getting a very nice slingshot coming off here now. Getting the DRS, and let's see how quick that straight line speed is. Using 7th gear, people ask me all the time, is literally just used so I have much better stopping power on the brakes. We're going to go down the inside this time, and didn't really expect him to fight this because he is the championship leader, doesn't want to run any risks, and I was hoping he would realise that I don't have a penalty and we could try and get onto the back of VSR Sara. But coming into this left-hander, he actually decides to go down the inside, which I was actually a little bit surprised of. I would have assumed he would wanted to use me to try and get up to the back of the Toro Rosso, but deciding against it, maybe he doesn't want me to get the win or something. So that's perfectly in reason for him to do that. But we've got 2 laps of this race left to go now, and once I got past him, I felt pretty confident that I could stay within the 3-second window, because VSR Sara does have a penalty out ahead of me. But you see the gap is 2.8 seconds, almost losing the car now. We've managed to escape the DRS of Pinecone, so it looks like his tyres are starting to suffer quite a bit. And so we haven't really got any pressure from behind. At this point, I thought it was going to be pretty comfortable, but you can see the gap is actually starting to go up. It was 2.6 or 2.7 seconds. Now it's 2.9 seconds, and we've got a lap and a half of the race to go. I was expecting to really actually close in on him quite quickly, because the tyres are not touch and go, but towards the end of the stint, they definitely have a significant amount of wear. So I was expecting to definitely be comfortably in the gap, but I'm having to push really hard at this point, a lot harder than I thought I would have to be pushing. And we'll be able to see what the gap is going through this middle sector now. It's 3 seconds, and I looked at that in the corner of my eye. You probably weren't bound to see it, and I go in deep here. I knew I would have to do the last lap of my life to try and win this race, and I was just so determined to do it, considering losing positions at the start and stuff as well, and just how bad of a race I had in my last league race with a really disappointing 4th round. And the gap is 3.2 seconds. We have to make up over 2 tenths on this last lap when we've actually been losing time in the last few laps. And I knew it was just all or nothing now. We have to give it absolutely everything. Going into hot lap and almost matching our personal best, we make up a 10th alone in that first sector, which he absolutely nailed that first sector. And now we've got to just do a qualifying lap. We just got to give it absolute maximum force. We are going deep slightly, but you don't really need to be hitting the apex here. Going back into hot lap, using Rich towards the end, the whole of this last lap now. Don't need to go back and lean and medium. Go into hot lap once again. No ERS to get the maximum traction through here. And now we've just got to push. And look how much we've pulled away from the likes of Pinecone and Sans Even Pine. We've just left them for dead. And we'll be able to see what the split coming through here is now. And it's 2.9 seconds now. So we made up another 10th and a half going through here. And we've got to do the last sector on my line because I'm pretty sure he's aware that I don't have a penalty at all. Going to this last right-hander. Absolutely throwing in to absolute maximum. Using every single inch of the track, coming off this last corner now, going into hot lap, and we'll see what happens here.
Yes! Get the fuck in! Yes!
And we somehow win this race. And yeah, you can see how happy I was there. We won it by 0.075 of a second. And that just shows you just need to give it everything and just never, ever give up. And yeah, what a race that was. What a stream that was. So happy to just rectify the disappointment I had in my last race. And
just literally just did everything. Because
it just shows you just always got to give it everything because every single 10th counts. So that would be literally...
thank you so
I don't
much
even know how big a gap that would have been
donating.
in real life. That would have been
Thank
like
you
a
so much,
hand's
David,
width. That would have been
for-
absolutely nothing.
Just
So
everyone's donating as well.
it shows you got to fight to the very end.
Absolutely insane.
And
Can't wait to
yeah,
upload
thank
this
you so
race.
much for the
Thank you so
support.
much
I
for
really hope you
watching.
enjoyed this one. Hopefully it's
And
inspired
I
you and
will catch
motivated you.
next time.
Ask me anything you want to down below, and I will catch you soon. Peace.